40,000 carburetors got rebuilt last year. Not from crashes, not from high mileage, from owners who thought weekly startups were proper maintenance. They were wrong. Those weekly 5-minute warm-ups, they destroyed engines from the inside. The damage was preventable. Today, we're counting down the 10 habits slowly killing your motorcycle. Number 3 contradicts everything mechanics told you in the 80s. Number 1 is destroying bikes right now while you watch this. Real owner data, real repair costs, real solutions. Your crankcase will thank you. Number 10, ignoring your sight glass when it shows milky oil. You glance at your oil sight glass and see white streaks, maybe a cloudy appearance. You think it's normal. It's not. That milky appearance means water contamination in your engine oil. Condensation has infiltrated your lubrication system. Every Ducati and Triumph forum has photos of this exact problem. Riders post confused questions about the white film. They ask if it's serious. The answer? Absolutely. Water in your oil compromises everything that keeps your engine alive. The lubricating film breaks down. Metal-on-metal contact increases. Bearings start wearing faster than they should. Rust forms on internal surfaces. The moisture that caused that milky appearance will eventually sludge up your oil passages. Once that happens, you're looking at a complete teardown. The repair shop will charge you between $200 and $500 just for an oil change with inspection. But if you ignored it long enough, $1,500 for an engine rebuild. The fix is simple when you catch it early. Take your bike for a 45-minute ride. Not around the block. A real ride where the engine reaches full operating temperature and stays there. That heat vaporizes the condensation, burns it off through the breather system. If the milky appearance returns within a week, change your oil immediately. That condensation is building up faster than you're burning it off. Number 9, running your bike on 5-minute maintenance rides. Your daily commute is 3 miles, 10 minutes door to door. You think you're riding regularly so the bike stays healthy. Wrong. Those short trips are systematically destroying your motorcycle. Engine efficiency drops when you never reach standard operating temperature. Trips under 3 to 9 miles prevent your motor from getting hot enough to function properly. The combustion chambers accumulate unburned carbon dioxide. That carbon builds up on pistons and cylinder walls. Performance degrades. Your battery takes the worst beating. Every cold start pulls massive current. The alternator needs sustained running time to recharge what you drained. 10-minute rides don't cut it. Forum members with 30-mile commutes report seeing condensation in their sight glass. If 30 miles isn't enough, your 3-mile trip to work is killing your battery twice as fast. Battery replacement costs have doubled for short trip riders. Instead of 5 years, they're replacing batteries every 2 to 3 years. That's $150 to $300 every 24 months instead of 60. The carbon buildup eventually requires valve service. Shops charge between $400 and $800 for that work. Combine your errands into one longer trip. Take the scenic route home. Your engine needs 20 to 30 minutes of sustained operation to burn off the moisture and keep everything functioning. Number 8, using ethanol fuel without fuel stabilizer. Ethanol is hygroscopic. That means it pulls moisture directly out of the air. Once water mixes with the ethanol in your fuel tank, phase separation occurs. The ethanol and water combination is heavier than gasoline. It sinks to the bottom of your tank. Your fuel pickup sits at the bottom. Guess what gets sucked into your fuel system first when you start the bike? That corrosive ethanol water mixture. It flows straight through your fuel lines into your carburetor or injectors. Brass components in carburetors corrode from ethanol exposure. A Canadian motorcycle mojo rider tested E-free gas versus E10. His Honda scooter saw a 13% increase in top speed. His Mazda pickup improved fuel economy by 1 liter per 100 kilometers. That's real-world data showing ethanol robs you of performance and efficiency. The solution costs $15. Buy Startron or Spectro fuel stabilizer. 1 ounce per gallon. It prevents phase separation and extends fuel life. Better yet, find ethanol-free fuel. Check pure-gas.org for stations near you. Premium non-ethanol fuel costs more per gallon, but saves you hundreds in repair bills. Number 7, letting your bike sit for just a month without preparation. 1 month doesn't sound long. You'll get back to riding soon. Life gets busy. Before you know it, 30 days passed without turning a wheel. That month of sitting initiated a cascade of problems. Your tires developed flat spots where they contacted the ground. The rubber's elastic properties started deteriorating from constant pressure in one position. Your battery drained from parasitic draw. Modern bikes have computers and fuel injection systems pulling small amounts of current even when off. That slow drain killed your battery's charge. Fuel in your tank and carburetor started degrading. Ethanol separated. Moisture accumulated. Gaskets and seals in your engine lost elasticity. They need heat cycling to expand and maintain their seal. Sitting cold, they became brittle. Fork seals, engine case gaskets, carburetor O-rings, all of them started their slow death. Paint on your tank absorbed UV radiation if you parked outside. The clear coat began breaking down. You'll see it bubble and chip within a few months. Forum members report needing $400 to $800 in repairs after a single month of unprepped storage. New battery, tire replacement if the flat spots are severe, fuel system cleaning, fresh gaskets if anything started leaking. The prevention costs almost nothing. Either prep the bike for storage or ride it monthly. Storage prep means filling the tank with stabilized fuel, connecting a battery tender, covering the bike, and putting it on the center stand. Monthly riding means a real ride, 30 minutes minimum at operating temperature. Not a quick trip around the block. Choose one or the other. The in-between approach of doing nothing guarantees expensive repairs. Number 6, storing your bike with the tank half empty. Temperature fluctuates. Your garage goes from 60 degrees during the day to 40 degrees at night. That temperature swing creates condensation inside your fuel tank. The airspace above your fuel contains moisture. As temperatures drop, that moisture condenses into liquid water on your tank's internal walls. Water droplets form. They run down the sides. They mix with whatever fuel you left in there. Steel tanks rust from the inside out. Aluminum tanks corrode differently but still deteriorate. That rust doesn't stay put. It flakes off into your fuel. Those orange particles flow through your fuel lines. They clog your fuel filter. They scratch your carburetor jets. They damage your fuel pump. Forum photos show fuel that looks like orange juice. That's rust contamination. Once your tank is compromised, replacement costs between $500 and $1,200 depending on your bike. Fuel system cleaning adds another $300. The debate about full versus empty tanks has a clear answer. Full tank with stabilizer minimizes airspace. Less air means less moisture means less condensation. The stabilizer prevents the fuel from degrading and separating. If you absolutely must drain it completely, you need to fog the inside of the tank with preservative spray. That coating prevents rust formation during storage. Half measures don't work. Half-empty tanks give you the worst of both worlds. Maximum airspace for condensation. Degrading fuel that's going to cause problems. Pick full with stabilizer or bone dry with preservative coating. Nothing in between. Number 5, winter storage without disconnecting the battery. Batteries lose 35% of their strength at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's data from AAA testing. Chemical reactions inside the battery slow dramatically in cold temperatures. Your battery can't hold a charge like it does in warm weather. Meanwhile, your bike's computer, fuel injection system, and clock continue drawing power. Parasitic drain doesn't stop just because it's cold outside. The combination kills batteries. Cold reduces capacity while the bike keeps consuming what little charge remains. You'll walk out to a completely dead battery in spring, but the damage goes deeper than just a dead battery. Batteries that discharge completely develop sulfation. Lead sulfate crystals form on the plates. Those crystals are permanent. They reduce the battery's ability to hold a charge even after you recharge it. Your 3-year-old battery that should have 2 years left? It's toast. $150 to $300 down the drain. Battery tenders help, but they're not perfect in extreme cold. The battery still operates in a compromised state. The better solution? Disconnect and remove the battery entirely. Store it inside your house where temperatures stay above 50 degrees. Check the charge monthly. Top it off if it drops. This simple step extends battery life from 3 years to 5 or 6. That's cutting your battery replacement costs in half over your ownership period. Some riders argue that disconnecting resets their bike's computer. Modern fuel injection systems retain their learned parameters in non-volatile memory. You won't lose anything critical. The minor inconvenience of resetting your clock beats buying a new battery every other year. Number 4, the 10-minute warm-up myth. You start your bike. You let it idle for 10 minutes. The temperature gauge shows it's warm. You think you're ready to ride? You're not. Idling doesn't generate enough heat to bring your entire engine up to proper operating temperature. The cylinders warm up. The cooling system circulates. But your transmission, your final drive, your wheel bearings, they're still cold. More importantly, your engine oil heats unevenly during idle. The oil in the pan warms up, but oil in distant passages and galleries stays cool. Cold oil is thick. It doesn't flow properly. It can't lubricate effectively. When you finally put the bike in gear and start riding hard on a cold engine, you're grinding metal against metal with inadequate lubrication. Cold engine tolerances are tighter than hot tolerances. Engineers design engines to operate with specific clearances at operating temperature. Below that temperature, pistons haven't expanded fully. Bearings haven't reached their design clearance. Rings aren't seating properly. The damage happens microscopically. You won't notice it in one ride or 10 rides. But after months and years of this pattern, you'll need a top-end rebuild. $2,000 to $3,000 depending on your bike. The correct warm-up procedure takes 30 seconds. Start the engine. Let it idle for 1 to 2 minutes while you put on your helmet and gloves. Then ride gently for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Light throttle. Lower RPMs. By the time you've ridden 5 miles, everything is up to temperature. The oil has circulated everywhere. Components have expanded to proper clearances. Now you can ride normally. This approach warms everything evenly and actually gets you to full operating temperature faster than sitting there idling. Number 3, starting your bike weekly during storage. This is the big one, the habit that destroys more engines than any other on this list. Riders think they're doing the right thing. They've heard you need to start your bike regularly to keep it healthy. So every Saturday during winter, they walk into the garage. They fire up the bike. They let it run for 5 or 10 minutes. They shut it down and walk away feeling accomplished. They just accelerated their engine's death. Here's what actually happened. When you started that cold engine, moisture in the crankcase air turned to vapor from the initial heat. But 10 minutes isn't enough time to burn off that moisture. Condensation requires sustained heat at 212 degrees Fahrenheit to vaporize completely. Your oil temperature gauge might show warm, but that doesn't mean all the moisture burned off. When you shut down after that short run, the engine cools. That vapor condenses back into liquid water. It mixes with your oil, creates that milky emulsion we talked about in number 10. But you're not done making it worse. Next week, you repeat the process. Fresh moisture gets introduced. Another incomplete warm-up cycle. More water accumulates. After a few months of weekly startups, you've got serious condensation contamination. Owner forums are full of confused riders who followed this advice religiously. They started their bikes every single week like they were supposed to. Come spring, they've got milky oil, rough running. Sometimes the bike won't even start because corrosion locked up the rings. The repair bills shock them. $1,500 to $3,000 for complete engine rebuilds. All because they were trying to do proper maintenance. This advice made sense in 1985. Carbureted bikes with points ignition benefited from regular running. Modern fuel-injected bikes with electronic ignition, they're better off sitting untouched with proper storage preparation. Number 2, not understanding the 30-minute rule. 30 minutes, that's the magic number. That's how long you need to run your engine at full operating temperature to burn off 1 session's worth of accumulated condensation. Not 30 minutes total ride time. 30 minutes after the engine reaches full operating temperature. Your temperature gauge hitting normal? That's just the beginning. Condensation doesn't start vaporizing until it reaches 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Then it needs sustained exposure to that heat. The moisture trapped in your crankcase, your valve covers, your oil passages, all of it needs time to heat up, vaporize, and exit through the breather system. If you're doing a winter commute, the math gets brutal. 10 minutes to work, 10 minutes back. Your engine barely reaches operating temperature. It never sustains that temperature long enough to dry out. You're actually building up more moisture than you're burning off. One forum member documented this with photos. daily 10-minute commutes through winter. By February, his oil sight glass showed white emulsion. He took the bike for a long weekend ride in March. 45 minutes at sustained highway speeds. The milky appearance disappeared. That proved the condensation was there all along from those short, cold starts. But here's the problem. Going for a long ride once a week doesn't undo the damage from 5 daily short trips. The condensation accumulates faster than you're burning it off. It's a losing battle. Aviation mechanics understand this principle. Aircraft engines require preheat in cold weather specifically because of condensation damage. The FAA recommends preheating below 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Why? Because cold starts with moisture in the oil cause more wear than any other operating condition. Motorcycle engines face the same physics. Some riders argue their daily commute keeps the bike exercised and healthy. The oil stays fluid, the fuel stays fresh. But if you're only riding 10 or 15 minutes each way, you're in the danger zone. Your engine would actually last longer if you rode it 0 days a week with proper storage than riding it 5 days a week with inadequate warm-up time. Number 1, ethanol phase separation in stored bikes. The ultimate motorcycle killer. The problem that combines with every other issue on this list to catastrophic effect. Ethanol phase separation in stored fuel systems. This destroys more carbureted motorcycles than any other single factor. When ethanol fuel sits in your tank for more than 2 to 4 weeks, the ethanol and water separate from the gasoline. That mixture is heavier than pure gasoline. It sinks to the bottom of your fuel tank. Your fuel pickup tube sits at the very bottom of that tank. When you finally start your bike after storage, the fuel pump or gravity feed pulls up that separated layer first. Pure ethanol and water, maybe with some gasoline mixed in. That corrosive mixture flows through your entire fuel system before any good gas reaches the engine. It attacks rubber fuel lines. It corrodes brass carburetor components. It damages aluminum fuel pumps. The destruction happens fast. A complete fuel system replacement on a modern fuel-injected bike costs $2,500. Carburetor rebuilds run $300 to $800 depending on complexity. The prevention requires multiple steps. First, find ethanol-free fuel. Use the website pure-gas.org to locate stations near you. Premium ethanol-free costs more per gallon, but eliminates this entire problem. If ethanol-free isn't available, you need quality fuel stabilizer, not the cheap stuff from the hardware store. Startron, Spectro FC, or Bel-Ray All-in-One. These stabilizers contain enzymes that prevent phase separation. Add them before storage at the recommended ratio. Run the engine for a few minutes to circulate the treated fuel through the entire system. Then fill your tank to 95% full. That minimizes airspace and reduces condensation. Some riders swear by draining their fuel system completely for storage. That works if you're meticulous about it. You need to drain the tank, the fuel lines, the carburetor float bowls, everything. 1 drop of old fuel left in a passage will cause problems. Most people don't drain thoroughly enough. They leave fuel in the petcock or in the carburetor galleries. That small amount is enough to corrode and cause starting problems in spring. The math here is brutal. $50 in good fuel stabilizer versus $2,500 in repairs. Yet riders keep skipping this step. They think their 2-week vacation won't matter. They assume their bike will be fine sitting for a month. Then they face the repair bill and wonder what happened. Modern ethanol fuel formulations are not your friend. Gas that would stay good for a year in 1985 goes bad in weeks now. Accept that reality and plan accordingly. Your fuel system depends on it. Every habit on this list shares a common thread: time and temperature. Modern motorcycles need modern storage strategies. Starting it occasionally without proper rides destroys your engine faster than leaving it alone. Preventive maintenance costs $50. Repairs cost thousands. Check your oil sight glass today. Find ethanol-free fuel at pure-gas.org. Commit to real rides or proper storage. For more detailed breakdown of common mistakes, watch my video, 17 Motorcycle Habits That Are Quietly Ruining Your Bike. Same channel. Click the link in the description. Your bike is either a rider or a statue. Pick one and treat it right.